At age 11, I get hit by a car. I'm in a wheelchair for a year, so I come out of school, and then I spend all that time on computers as well, building software and making money online because they didn't care that I was 11 at home. They just posted, we need this code, and then I bid on it, and then I got projects. So I started making money. I know,
right?
I know. My parents, they saw the envelopes from like PayPal.
See,
like,
my problem was I discovered my genitals at 11. And that... Who gave me a podcast? This is Jeff Allen. Welcome to my podcast.
Hi guys, welcome to this episode of Who Gave Jeff Allen a Podcast. I'm still here. I know. I think I'm a DEI hire. It's crazy. I'm not sure. I gotta Google what that means. Anyways, today's guest you're really gonna love is a good friend of mine, and he's new to Jeff. He is Joel Beasley, the founder and host of Modern CTO Podcast, which he started in 2017 while writing his book, Modern CTO. He's also the founder of Pro Series Media. And he owns the Beasley Foundation, which promotes STEM through children's books and donates to orphanages and families in need. Joel studied at MIT. He's a super fancy guy that knows all the big things in the world that I don't understand at all. And I actually didn't know you were that cool until I just read your bio. So now we have a new level to our friendship. You really donate to orphanages? Is there anything you don't do? Jeez.
All right. So my mom passed away. And then she left me and my brother and my sister like $10,000.
Okay.
And we were like, well, what do? We could go take a vacation to honor her. We could do something. And then we said, well, I had this idea for a children's book.
Yeah.
And we said, let's just make the children's book. So we did, and it was like $1,200 to make a children's book. Yeah. And then we're like, well, what do we do with the rest of the money? So we just ordered a couple thousand books from the book manufacturer and then just donated them.
Oh.
And we're like, that sounds cool.
I totally forgot you told me his mom died so she didn't have to go to his wedding, which was very sweet. Really nice.
So she didn't like the woman you picked?
No, she loved her.
Oh,
She
that's
couldn't
so
find
funny.
a dress. It was
She couldn't find a dress.
Lucky your mom.
Yeah.
I've, after having, and I can say this because my daughter-in-laws don't like us, so they're not going to watch this anyway. But after I'm really have become an advocate for arranged marriages. We could pick better, my wife. We'd at least pick people who liked us. That would have been a prerequisite. STEM, my gosh, I'm glad you brought that up.
Yeah.
My granddaughter, she's 11, really sharp mathematically, really sharp girl. She's been reading since she was 4. And my fear is that in this school system, she'll get dropped in between the cracks. What can we do to encourage the STEM in her if she's, and it's in our system. My wife's sister worked for NASA.
Okay.
So the DNA is in there somewhere, So what would parents that have children that are not motivated, how do you motivate them? What do you do to what is out there that's available? Even electronically, that would stimulate that part of their curiosity.
Yeah. So what I do, I've got 3 kids, 8, 6, and 3. Okay. And what we've been trying, and we're not perfect. This is our first run at kids, right?
That's the problem, because I would be so much better at it now at 70 years old.
Right? Yeah. And so what we've been doing is we've been introducing them to different things and then watching like what takes naturally and then like encouraging that. So for example, for my son, we introduced him to a bunch of different things, baseball, soccer, drums, and he gravitated towards drums. So then we backed that up with like lessons and, buying drum related things for him. And then kind of just looking for where is that little spark and how do I fan that into a flame? Whereas I do see a lot of parents, they will just say STEM's good, STEM's lots of money, when older, must force STEM. And so I'm like, don't do that. Just give them like a couple different options, see what they gravitate towards. And that's the experiment we're running at the Beasley household.
That's great.
Being a child interested in, I've always been interested in the arts, so is my son, but being a child interested in engineering, mathematics, I don't know, we've known each other for a while. I don't know much about your childhood, but I heard pieces. So can you tell our listeners how you got into coding and what happened to get you to where you were when you were a kid to where you are now?
Yeah. So mom was a cheerleader. Dad was an engineer. So I get real excited about technology. I love technology.
So you do backflips.
I do backflips for technology. It also means I'm a quarter smart. But so we go and my dad starts taking me to work with him. And you fast forward, he would give me small programming jobs to do. I thought it was like for me, like for fun. And he was just trying to occupy me so he could get his work done. But it turned out to be a net positive thing because I learned how to do engineering pretty early, software engineering. Yeah. And then you just fast forward, do that through high school. At age 11, I get hit by a car. I'm in a wheelchair for a year, so I come out of school. And then I spend all that time on computers as well, building software and making money online because they didn't care that I was 11 at home. They just posted, we need this code. And then I bid on it, and then I got projects. So I started making money. I know,
right?
I know. My parents, they saw the envelopes from like PayPal.
See,
like,
my problem was I discovered my genitals at 11. And that's all
Yeah,
we don't want to get into that.
No.
You were making money on PayPal too.
I wasn't making
different kind of money.
Yeah, that is amazing, man.
Yeah, so I just got into that and improved.
And you say that so offhandedly, by the way. I was 11, I was online bidding on jobs.
Yeah, I was doing other stuff. I was playing video games and getting into all sorts of trouble, but I found that there was this little method for me to make money, and that was really cool.
Now, do you credit the car accident for the success you've experienced? Because God will use tragedy to grow us into the areas that He chooses. So
absolutely, and I actually got a call a couple years ago from my sister-in-law, and so she said, "Hey, the boys, Brant and Tucker, they're playing in the street a lot. I want you to have a talk with them and tell them about what happened to you because you got hit by a car." I said, "Vicky, you don't want me to. I've reframed this to be the greatest part of my life." I go, if I talk to them, they're going to be partying in the street.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah.
Okay, but what kind of car was it?
It's a 95 Explorer.
If I would have, if I would have been hit by a 95 Explorer, I would have been so good at math.
It's like those Disney movies where the guy gets hit with something, all of a sudden he's like a superpower. Yeah. So that was it. But 11, you're coding. And bidding on jobs. So you're making money. Did you keep the money or did your parents do what I would have done and just taken it to help pay the rent?
After they validated that it wasn't from illegal activities, which, wasn't a zero chance at that point in time. But they let me keep it. I ended up continuing that. And then the second week of 11th grade, it was just becoming too much. So I mentally checked out of school. And I would just stay up all night coding after I got better. And was healed, and I would stay up all night doing computer stuff. I'd sleep all day at school. It's very difficult to sleep in the bright lights at school. It wasn't good for me. So I went and approached my principal and I said, "Hey, I need to leave. I need to leave school." And he said, "No." And then I explained to him what was going on. And he said, "Well, that's interesting." And he said, "If you could go around to 3 different developer agencies and get them to write you a letter that says they would employ you just because of your skills."
Now, how old are you?
This was second week of 11th grade. So I'm like 15, 16.
Okay.
They're like, if you can prove that you can be employed without a degree, then we'll let you exit early through the homeschool program. And I said, okay, cool. So I exited early through the homeschool program, and then I went full-time software at 15, 16.
Holy cow.
I know, right?
I'm aghast.
I know. It's like, how do you...
So were you like at 11 or 12 selling online Viagra to old people?
I was writing...
Figuring out how to get that out of India or something. I mean, I can't imagine having that kind of a mind. I really can't.
What was the first company?
Is there some curse to it? Is there a downside to it?
Yeah, it's like super active brain.
Really active?
You gotta it's a lot of work to shut it down.
Yeah. Wow.
I know. So what was the first company you sold?
Would be a real estate software that I made. So I built, one of my parents was a real estate person. So I'd go to their office after school and I'd see them complain about different problems, the different agents. And I was like, well, I could just build some software to solve that. So I don't have to hear them complain anymore. Turns out they'll complain about other things. So I built the software and then word got out and people shared it with each other. And then a company approached me and like, we want to buy it from you. I said, great, but I want money long term. So I want you to I want to be a business partner with you in this. And so we got involved in that and then built real estate software. And then from there, sold that, did some financial software, some fitness software. And then I started the podcast. I started the podcast saying like, hey, this is what I learned building engineering teams. Nerds are tough. It's tough to get them to work together to achieve this goal. It's tough when you're scaling up. And here's all the mistakes I made, world. Take it for what it is. And I just thought it would be a like a book and like a little series. And it turned into, the podcast got popular. And then it turned into a thing. And then it became, we got sponsors. And then it became, now we're 10 years, 1,000 episodes in. And we're the largest tech leadership podcast in the world.
Wow.
Yeah.
So what now? You're like, what? You're what, 19 now?
I'm 38.
Oh, 30.
Yeah.
Yeah. I failed on that job at the Carney trying to guess ages.
It's okay. Yeah.
Okay, so I do have some questions that I can't comprehend.
Okay.
What is the downside of OpenAI?
The downside?
Are
okay.
robots going to rule the world is what I'm asking you.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. I mean, it's not just OpenAI. They're one vendor. It's like soda, and then you got Pepsi and Coca-Cola and everything. So, but the underlying technology, the large language models, the LLMs, the thing you're chatting with, that's going to have massive impact on our world. It already has, and it will continue to do so.
Yeah, I went down the rabbit hole. I was telling her, Carolyn, I signed up for the $20 a month ChatGPT thing just to see, and again, I'm a moron. So I started asking it questions about premises I was working on. And I told Carolyn, I said, it's like talking to another comic. It really is. Would you like recalls? Would you like stuff, asking you things would you like me to put together 3 to 5, and I go, no, that's okay, Chad. I just want your ideas on this particular premise, that I was working on. And there was a part of me, I took a line from it and used it. There was a part of me that went, this is wrong. I mean, for my entire career, I wrote everything myself. Now, Carolyn has given me a couple lines because she's quick-witted and,
Thank you.
And I've taken those. But everything else I've kind of written myself, or if I bought stuff, it was just a sheet of premises and ideas. But I can see what you're talking about. I can see it writing a book. And because the problem I had when writing my book was organizing my thoughts, I finally had to hire somebody to really help me put all of that in a form. Like, what is the arc of this? Because otherwise it'll be a 700-page tome that nobody will read because I got things to say,
Yeah.
So this editing process and all of that, it just seems like, and it's so quick. It's just like within seconds it comes back. So I think you're right. I mean, that's the upside to it. What the downside, let's just say from a political standpoint, you could create your own news stories. I was just listening to a book on tape that started with the War of the Worlds with Orson Welles, where people came in the middle of that radio broadcast and thought we were attacked by aliens. And I thought, how primitive. But, 100 years later, you look at it as how primitive, but you saw the reaction from people who thought they were actually listening to an invasion by another species.
Yeah.
So is that possible? It's got to be possible, right? Governments can use this to create narratives.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, we've been able to do it for a long time with just people. I mean, it's just intelligence. The LLMs are just intelligence. We're having trouble when we process it because it's like currently when you boot up a human, that's like 18 years until you can even talk to them right, Yeah. And now you can boot up an intelligence instance immediately and like infinitely scalable. You're just constrained by power and data centers and stuff. But it's a really weird thing for us. But I don't think we're ill-equipped to handle it. I mean, historically, we've handled this many times. During the revolution, like, the mechanical revolution, right? Industrial revolution, you had all these men sitting around like, okay, well, now that these robots can move this stuff, what are we going to do? And then they figure it out and they retool and there's this big ordeal and then it happens and it happens again with software. It's just, we're in this is nothing new. The thing that's, if you're going to say anything's novel, it's the scale of it, how quickly it will happen. Like it's the only new thing about it is the speed at which it's happening. Because when you built the machines in the Industrial Revolution, they're massive things. It takes a long time for you to spread steel and get stuff different places and replace factory. That's a really long time. Now we can do software updates and just deployed immediately to the entire planet.
Yeah, my wife's Tesla gets them like overnight.
Yeah.
And that was interesting because we just traded into 2022 for 2026. And basically the same software was in our 2022.
Yeah.
I mean, they were able to just load all that in. So there wasn't really any new, as far as the inner workings of the car. There was more aesthetic changes in it. I was thinking, we went through the age of industry, the age of technology. And then I said to a friend of mine, I said, back starting around the mid-2000s, it was the age of hyperbole, where people realized if they put these sensational headlines on the things that get clicks, nobody reads the articles. They read maybe a paragraph or a line. But the clicks were the important thing. So we got these sensational headlines. And then now I really think, we can maybe flush this out. I don't know what your thoughts are on it, but I call it the age of Pilate, when Jesus left Pontius Pilate and he said, "What is truth?" When he said, "Those on the side of me are on the side of truth." And he said, "What is truth?" I think we're really at a point now where discerning what is true it's kind of morphed. The reality of the false narrative is so good. Propaganda always has some truth in it. So how do you, I'm not sure, because you could probably answer, when they pumped in the revolution into, I don't know if it was chat or one of those, and it came back with all this historically false information.
Mm-hmm.
How do we correct that? I mean, if this is your go-to source and it has historically factually wrong, because it can only put out what's been put into it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So are there differences between Grok and chat?
Mm-hmm. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, there's many models out there, and the models are trained on data. And so I would say a good first step is transparency. Let's see the data sets the models were trained on, and then let's see what instructions the company has given to the LLM before it gives stuff to you. So that's one thing that nobody shares right now. So for example, if you wanted to see the prompt that OpenAI is using before it's interacting with you, telling it to be fair or inclusive, whatever they're telling it to filter its responses to you.
Yeah, it's way too nice.
We don't have transparency into that. And I think from a legal perspective, that is an area where we could push. They're going to push back and say, no, that's our secret sauce. And I'm going to say, I don't care. Your secret sauce is shaping humanity. Like we need, I need it to be like a nutrition label. I need to see like how much woke you got in here, how much protein you got in here. I want to see what you've got in your model because I'm consuming it. And so we don't have that today. I think that's a good first place. But yeah, to your point about truth, it is difficult. It is. I mean, we've gotten bad information from our friends and our family for all the millennia.
Well, that was always, it's funny. When I was going through therapy, my therapist told me, because your brain is what got you into rehab, starts chirping to you, ask your brain, what is your source of information?
Yeah.
So when your brain says you're a piece of crap or garbage or whatever, you ask yourself, what is your source? Where is this coming from? Because it's not true. It's a lie. So that became my mantra when people would tell me things. I go, holy cow, what is your source? And the vast majority of, I don't know, I heard it on the internet. So it's almost as if you begin with a prejudice or a bias, and then you look for something to feed, and then that becomes your truth. And if we're going to go to this AI stuff for answers,
chat does stroke your ego. It's never told me, Carolyn, you're wrong. Like it's always just like,
really?
Yeah, it'll always just beef like me up as like the greatest person ever.
Mm-hmm.
And so forgive me for cussing, but sometimes I'll be like, chat, give me the no bullshit answer on this. And then it'll go straight to facts.
Yeah.
But I have to prompt it to be factual instead of being in tune with my feelings and who I am. And it knows I'm Eastern Orthodox, so it wraps everything into that dialogue.
Mhm.
So how
They have to do that too, because they're a tool being used all over the world, and we're so different culturally that if you start responding with an Eastern thing in the Western world or vice versa, it's going to make people hate the technology and pitchfork it. Shut it down.
Oh,
But if you wrap it in like the local context, everyone's like much more acceptable.
so the chat is codependent.
Yeah.
Very.
Yep.
Yeah.
You can get unfiltered models. I mean, everyone's just going to the big box stores that the Walmarts, the Targets, the OpenAIs, the Groks. These things are open and available online for you to experiment with yourself without all the filters that they put on it.
which company would you say is the unfiltered?
Venice AI,
A Venice?
VENICE.ai.
And that's just straight facts, no
It's just straight loaded models, no nonsense on top of those loaded models. Sometimes people train the models with some nonsense, but it's the most pure that you're going to get.
Yeah. So I
Yeah.
know some people are worried, like, oh, well, we've always heard for like 25 years, well, AI computers is going to take the guy at McDonald's job.
Yeah.
Do you see a future, and what is the time span? We're acting like you're like a prophet. Prophet Jewel, it's the beard.
It's the beard.
It's the smart and the
Well, he's got an active mind. Mine shut down 20 years ago. So,
Mine never booted up. Okay,
I'm
so
still using floppy disks, by the way.
There we go.
Papa, what's a flop?
I can tell you what's floppy on me. Cheap shot.
There you go.
We can get rid of that one.
We're cooking now. Yeah.
Back to the Viagra.
Friday late. Oh, that's brutal. That's funny. So do you see it taking over? Like we always think of like these entry level jobs, it taking over. But is there a world where the democracies run off of AI because it's quicker, it's faster, it can problem solve better?
I have no idea.
But profit.
Well, there has to
Joel.
come, at some point, we will elect somebody who was raised on this stuff.
Oh, for sure.
And
Yeah.
it will counsel through AI rather than, it's before, you either counsel through prayer and meditation and whatever, or you had advisors around you, and all of a sudden maybe this becomes the advisor.
I think, and I don't think it's an all or nothing. I definitely think it'll be a mix. I think the AI will have a seat at the table, but it won't be just you two.
Yeah.
It'll be your group.
It'll be the Department of Defense.
Or
but
it'll
no
be
pressure.
all of your people who are augmented by AI.
Okay.
So like
Do you ever tool around the dark web?
yeah, to be more specific.
I couldn't find it if I if I wanted.
Mean, it's not really a place to hang out for what I'm doing with my life.
Yeah.
But, if I were a criminal, I would.
Yeah.
What happens on there? I don't really understand what it
it's
is.
like this image of it's like a basement where you put the crazy ant,
Yeah.
and nobody knows about it. And
Yeah.
then you go to their house and you hear this muffled scream sound. They go, "Yeah, I'll be right back." And you go,
Yeah.
Shut up.
I picture it like Diagon Alley on Harry Potter, where you have to like click the wall and then
Yeah.
it opens up into this like magical place where all these things are happening.
That's valid. Yeah.
So what is it? What goes on there?
What goes on the dark web?
Yeah.
Well, a lot of things. First, just there's privacy down there. The second thing is there's illegal stuff happening down there.
Yeah, I heard they trade
the
out
Wild
credit card
West.
numbers.
It's
and-
the Wild West. Like you can go buy a business that encrypts local businesses' data and then sells it back to them, essentially stealing their money. You just go buy that business.
That sentence you just said broke my brain. Did
Yeah.
it break yours?
No, I understand that because
Yeah, it's-
there's what they do is they send you things. You click on the link, and
Mhm.
all of a sudden they steal all your data, and then they hold it hostage.
Yeah.
If you want it back, you got to pay a ransom
Yeah.
to release your data back to you.
So get this, you can buy those businesses as franchises on the dark web.
Really?
Yeah. They're all fully automated. You just buy them, push the button, let it run. You have to service the support when the requests start.
By the
coming
way,
through.
Who Gave Jeff Allen a Podcast does not support.
Yeah, this might be. I don't want to do an
We're not-
educational
we're not
tutorial.
getting- I don't want somebody out there going, "Well, I didn't know that. I got to go look
Yeah.
into this." This is like,
Well, for your demographic, we should be like, Nana, don't click on any link.
no links.
No
Yeah.
links.
Yeah.
If your
Yeah.
daughter calls you and says that she needs bail money, she doesn't. You raised her right. She's safe.
It might even be her voice.
Yeah. Her voice, or like I've seen where they can do AI videos.
Oh yeah.
Of them being like held and stuff.
Deep fakes. Yeah.
Horrifying.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so raising my son, he's 16.
Yeah.
He uses chat. As far as I know, he's not buying and selling any dark web franchises.
Okay.
But he uses chat often. What are some guardrails you would recommend to parents or grandparents?
I don't know. I would say if I were to give that to my kids, it would be in the same way I give them other technology, where it's my account that I'm letting them use. So I can just go in there and see whatever's going on at any point in time.
Yeah.
Heavily monitored. Like, my kids aren't going to get access to certain technologies until they're at certain ages. And that's just a personal decision that every parent has to make with their own community. But for me, the way I would introduce that to them is I would allow them to be a user on my account so I can see what they're doing and what groks. It's no different than a friend. You know, we're the house where everyone comes over to.
Yeah.
You know, we have their friends over. I can hear like which friends are saying like what type of things, and we can kind of push them into, okay, you can spend more time with this individual and less time with this individual, so that we can make sure that they're it's environment control. That's our responsibility as a parent, right? We got to control the environment as much as possible. I'm not saying that they shouldn't be experiencing anything negative, but you also like just don't hold them, like hand them a loaded handgun, right? There's like this balance between it.
Yeah.
You let them watch The Simpsons?
No, not currently. I mean, they haven't asked. They don't know what it is.
It's funny. My cousin told me she didn't let her kids watch. I said, it's the best television show ever written. And she goes,
hilarious.
They're trashy people. And I go, all the more reason to let your children watch. So when you say you can't be with this person because they're trashy, they have a reference point.
Yeah.
Oh, they're yellow. And
yes. Yeah. There it is.
And it's
no, they haven't asked or seen that yet. I liked The Simpsons growing up. I watched it a lot.
Yeah. My son's entire philosophical foundation was Homer Simpson.
Okay.
Yeah. I'd say something to him and he'd pause and go, oh yeah, that was a Simpson episode. And that's how he was able to navigate his way through childhood.
Yeah. It's a well-written show.
There's actually a course taught in Berkeley, the philosophy of Homer Simpson. I bought him the book for Christmas once. He came upstairs after like 8 minutes. He goes, this is an actual college course, Dad. You know, I'm not into this. You know, but yeah, they built an entire course around his philosophy. So I don't even know why I brought that up.
Simpsonomics. Yeah.
I put a bunch of guardrails on my son, and it's starting, like, now that he's in high school, there's a lot more pushback.
Yeah.
Like, he's not allowed to have social media. He's not allowed to watch Reels, YouTube Shorts, any of that quick.
Yeah, the attention
I
stuff.
want it.
I did an interview with the guy that wrote the popular book on the attention issues.
Oh, yeah. What's the name of the book?
I can't remember. I've done too many interviews. But I would love to plug it. Sorry, dude. But anyways, we did this interview, and your attention span can absolutely get reduced. And it's like a muscle. It can atrophy, and then you can grow it back. And so,
yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Because I started reading hard copy books again.
Mm-hmm.
And my muscle, I used to be able to sit and read for 2 hours. And then it got to the point where 10 minutes, 15 minutes, I'd be kind of just, okay, I'm tired. And I told my wife it's because of the iPad, you know. So I went back to hard copy, and I'm rebuilding that muscle. But it's funny you say that.
Yes.
That's exactly what I'm doing. I'm trying to get to where, because Charlie Kirk, this whole thing just blew me away with when Hillsdale College, Larry Arnn came out and said he did 31 courses. I told Tammy I signed up for 2 Hillsdale courses. I did two episodes of each one. And not even close to finish. So I decided to make a commitment in honor of Charlie. I'm going to finish my 2 Hillsdale courses, one on the Constitution, the other one on Genesis.
Oh, nice.
In honor
of Charlie. Yeah. But again, it's an attention span thing.
Yeah.
It is. And I got it the other day. I was going through, I never watched TikTok. So something popped up in a TikTok. I thought it was funny. And it just switched to the next video. And then at 10 seconds, another video.
Yeah.
And I told Tammy, I'm watching this happen, talking to her. I'm going, look at this. No wonder people are like
Because I really
You know?
struggle with ADHD. If I get on Reels, and I have to have a timer on mine, so it's 15 minutes, and then I have to accept that I get another 15 minutes, I'll lose 3 hours. Like once I get in that hole,
Really?
like I don't have the willpower to force myself out of it. And so I've read that they're based off of slot machines. So it feeds on the same part of your brain as gambling.
Oh, wow. So it's a dopamine thing, right?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. I actually, after that interview I did, and this was probably like 5 years ago with the attention guy, he challenged me off the podcast. He says, I challenge you to take your phone and put it in do not disturb. Don't allow any of your applications to give you any notifications. And he goes, just do that for like 30 days.
You can do that?
Mhm. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. and
Mine's on Do Not Disturb all the time, which is
I know
why
you
I'm
always,
a terrible
I see it when
employee.
I text you.
But you can choose to have like all like certain contacts break through it. If you want, you can set it up like that. And so what I did was I set it up to where my calendar can break through, like so I can get a notification, hey, you got a meeting coming up in 10 minutes. Or I set it up to where my wife calls and texts can break through and kids calls and texts can break
Really?
through. Yeah. So everything else, every app that I have, every notification that I have, everything just gets silenced. And the only stuff that can come through is that. So I did that for 30 days. And then it's been that way for years, 3 to 5 years, however long it's been since I've done the interview. I've just never taken it off. And I was like, good, thanks for the advice, dude.
Wow. I want to have you show me that when we get
Yeah.
done here. Because that's, I told Tam, I said, I'm trying to not, I'm reading Deloney's book, Non-Anxious Life.
Mm-hmm.
I've had a rough couple of weeks, not even just with the whole Charlie Kirk thing. And don't email me, you know.
I was
think
just
about Charlie,
drafting.
you know.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you were just drafting. when
Yeah,
you-
my
yeah,
GPT
yeah,
implant
yeah,
was like,
yeah,
we're getting an email
okay,
together.
okay. But then my son was, he's got some issues and things. And all of a sudden I just found myself, I break out from anxiety.
Mhm.
So I have a built-in governor in my nervous system that tells me that
He can't go over 70.
something's not right. Exactly. It is. It's like all of a sudden my arm starts breaking out and I'm itching.
Mhm.
And I'm going, okay, what's going on? You know, and I couldn't get rid of it. I had this knot in my stomach for like 3 days. So I started reading Deloney's book on anxiety. And one of the first things he is shut this stuff off.
Mm-hmm.
So I tried to figure it out. I told Tam it's hard sometimes because I get these notifications that pique my interest.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll click on them, you know, and then I'm in the rabbit hole.
Yeah.
And I've been good about getting out after a couple, 2 or 3 minutes. But still, the residual effect of reading something that might upset you hangs.
Yeah,
And think about that multiple times a day,
I know.
you know.
It's not normal.
No,
It's like if you're a Native American in your house, and then like back in the day before any technology, and people just came by your TV and just knocked on it and just gave you some bad information and walked away, and then like 2 hours later, someone gave you some bad information and walked away. You'd be like, wow, you'd go crazy.
No
You'd be
wonder
like,
they hate
"Stop."
white people.
You'd be like, I'm moving, you know, I don't stop this. And so yeah, you don't want the device to use you. If it goes, I don't want it to go bzz, 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 and then like Kim Kardashian did something. Like that's not the life I'm living, you know? It's
Right.
like I want, and also too, as like a business owner, I will get to it when I get to it. I check my phone a bunch every day already, just as natural habit, and go into it and see what's available and what's there and what I need to handle. And I don't need it coming at me. Like I pick you up and deal with you when I need to deal with you.
Right.
Yeah. You don't tell me when to pick you up and deal with you. Like
Yeah, same view in marriage he's got. Most successful.
Right.
I'll deal with you when I deal with you.
yeah.
I'll come into the kitchen on my terms.
Well, because otherwise it's beeping. What you know what caused me to confidently make the change was your phone will tell you how many times a day you pick it up.
Right.
It's depressing.
Yeah.
It's like, how many hundreds of times did I pick this thing up today?
Yeah.
Wow, I got to cut that down.
Well, it's interesting because I saw how many hours a day I looked, and I go, I don't look at it that many. But then I realized when I read on the Kindle,
Yes.
that's on your device.
Yeah.
And which is why I started picking up I'm going back and reading books I've read 15, 20 years ago. And rediscovering. I'm in a different place in my life intellectually than I was 15 years ago. I can understand a lot more than I could 15 years ago. So it's not like I look at a book now and go, oh, I read that. I don't need to reread it. There's a reason why some books are classics.
Mhm.
And I think with the electronic device, it's convenient at night because I can shut off the TV and sit. I'm always up an hour or so after my wife falls asleep. And the screen goes black and I can read it in the bed without disturbing her. So I don't need a night light to read a hard copy. Is reading electronically doing something to your brain? I mean,
I don't know.
I don't know about the blue light or whatever.
I don't know a lot about that. I know that.
Then what the hell are you here for?
I don't know. Blue light specialist. I don't think that was in.
Blue light, Kmart. Ooh, now I'm Homer Simpson again. You know, ooh.
You
What's so
pretty good,
funny
Homer
is
Simpson.
he's actually like, I created the blue light. Let me tell you all about it.
Yeah.
I didn't want to bring it up.
But
No.
I am actually a really big nerd about the blue light stuff. And Andrew Huberman, who's
I love that
great,
guy, yeah.
he says 2 hours no screens before you're ready to go to bed.
Really?
Yeah, and sunlight immediately when you wake up in the morning, and it's what sets your circadian rhythm for the day. So look, I do know things. This has been Who Gave... No, just kidding. I do want to ask you a question about, we're all Christians. I want to ask you a question about faith and some moving forward. Things like you were joking and you're like, my chat implant.
Yeah.
I have concerns that there's going to, not even a concern, a thought that in the future, there's going to be people that are like, I'm going to fully integrate, or people that are like, I'm going to live on a farm and I'm actually going to walk away from all technology. That's kind of what I've seen in friends in their 30s. So as somebody who's walking out faith, what are like the red flags to say, you know what, maybe that's not for me when it comes to fully integrating our bodies with AI? No pressure. Go.
All right. So we kind of already have this today. We have the Amish, and then you have, 13-year-old Valley girls, right? That are just like,
Yeah, you have to do the voice.
So yeah, no thanks. So you've got, so you've got both, right? And so that's already happening today. People are doing that. The word is Luddite, like for the people that really dislike technology, and then there's a spectrum of everyone in between. Will we get, so we got that. That's what's happening now. That'll continue, I think, to happen into the future to a greater extent, the neural implants and things of that nature. Some people reject it. The next generation will grow up with it as a debate, and then the following generation will grow up with it as the standard. So that's like typically what happens. So generations will happen, and then it'll become more normal. So I don't think there's anything entirely new there. It's just a different technology that's running that process. How do I feel about it? Like personally?
Have you met anybody that has had Neuralink implanted?
Yeah.
You have.
Yeah.
And what are the
Not Neuralink, the branded one, but there are many other Neuralinks that aren't the brand Neuralink.
And what were the positives and the negatives? I know right now it's mostly to fix ailments.
Everyone that I've interacted with, which is one person on this, it was the quadriplegic, and they were using it to control the computer. So, I mean, it improved their life dramatically.
Yeah.
Right.
Amazing for them. They can communicate with their spouse now when they're remote because they can text. They can browse the internet and like research stuff and write better. And that's kind of beautiful.
Yeah.
I see it. It's like a miracle. It's like,
So is that what Hawking had?
I'm not sure exactly which one he had, but something similar to that.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, there's an area of life where it's incredibly empowering and it's the right thing to do. And then there's the conversation of like, what's that, where a lot of people get upset or don't like it is when they see this, what a big shift in society will happen. And then they're nostalgic to their current way of life. And then they don't like the change. That's usually where the rub is with people.
Yeah.
It's interesting. It just popped into my head because of our broken, sinful nature. Is there a way would that take away? I mean, would you no longer lie, or would you no longer steal, or would they be able to put a moral code into us that we would actually adhere to. And then, of course, who would be in charge of determining what the moral code is, I guess. But that is a fascinating question.
Yeah.
Would it make us a better species? But it would be totally against what God, because God gave us free will when he designed us. And, obviously that has its pluses and minuses.
Part of me doesn't even see the Neuralink and it going into our bodies as like that big of a deal. And I'll tell you why.
Because you already have it. No, I'm just kidding.
We're already cyborgs.
Pardon?
We are already cyborgs.
Yeah.
Like if I'm an alien from another planet, I come down and I observe humans from like a third party perspective. There's all a bunch of cyborgs. Here's your computer. You interface with it. You have this organic limitation of like, I need to use my thumbs to input data and I need to use my eyes to receive data. But historically, if you look back, computers they're really big and the technology gets smaller, cheaper, faster, and goes closer to our bodies, right? Like the computer used to be at home in the computer room or used to be at the university.
Right.
Then it came into our house.
Yeah, I remember
then it came
my
into
high
our
school,
pocket.
it took up a whole room.
Then it came into your house. Then it came into your pocket. Now it's going into your body. It's like that's the history of that's the natural, and this is not me saying it's right. I'm saying this is the natural path that we're currently on. And so when I look at this, I'm like, we're already cyborgs. We spend 6 to sometimes 8 hours a day looking at the screen. That's just a very inefficient way of doing it. Well, what's the difference if it's inside of you or not? I don't know. I mean, that's how people feel about it. But we are on a path headed in a trend. And I'm not saying the trend is okay. I'm just pointing out that's the path that we're on.
Right.
How do you feel about it?
I'm okay with it because historically that's just the progress of life. And I think you'll always be able to find good in all the situations. And I think God will always be present. And, when people at church, they'll confidently talk about like how we can't even understand God. We can a little bit, but like we can't fathom like the master plan, right? And then we turn around and we criticize a potential master plan as being wrong. It's like, well, we don't know. We don't know what the full end plan is. And so all I focus on is today. I'm like, what can I do today? How can I connect to God today? How can I do the most right next thing today and not be hung up by my past and just take a step forward and surround myself in an environment with other Christian men and families and a good community? And how can I just get this day right? And I think if everybody focuses like that, I don't know where we'll end up, but I think we'll end up in a better place.
Yeah, I agree. I think that I've always said that the devil will drive you down through your past. And if that doesn't work, then he'll get you projecting forward and it won't be a pretty picture. God wants you in the moment, wants you right here, right now. And that is so hard for, I have an active brain as well. And I think it's just hard, which is why community is so helpful. Because if you're in a community of like-minded, or at least other humans, and you're engaging, you're not inside your own head. That active brain is not necessarily, but you're in the moment. You have to be in the moment.
Yeah.
Within this community that you're with. And I think because of our devices, and I can speak as an alcoholic and a drug addict, I used to be able to go into a crowded bar and be alone. Mm-hmm. I would be there by myself and surrounded by 800 people in a really crowded bar. Isolationism, which is what I think my son is dealing with right now, is that one of the things he said before he went into rehab was, I have no friends, and it's heartbreaking because he's such a personable, engaging young man. How do you see this getting us more into community and more living by the moment?
Yeah, I think part of the disinformation and the lack of like trust and sources of information will actually bring us together closer. I think we'll see a rise in the business world of in-person conferences, in-person gatherings, because I know you're not deep faked when I'm in the room physically with you. Mm-hmm. When you send me a message, I don't know if it's you or if it's your AI twin or like what it is, but when I'm with you and I'm here, I'm
Oh,
here.
thank you. I never even thought of that. Now every email I get, I'll think, is that Carolyn or is that a deep fake?
Yeah.
Well, I can promise you that if it's skinny with large breasts, it's the fake me. It's what I want it to be. But if it's chubby with no makeup and not on time, you got the real me.
Okay.
I had a real me. So your faith journey, did you find faith? Did you find faith in the wheelchair? Or were you raised Christian? Did it deepen your faith?
Yeah. So faith journey, I was raised Christian. My mom cleaned the church. My dad was the sound engineer at the church. We went there up until they got divorced when I was 10.
Mm-hmm.
And then I went and lived with my mom. It wasn't a choice. You're 10. They don't give 10-year-olds like a
The
choice.
cheerleader.
Yeah, I went to live with a cheerleader. She remarried instantly. Then they divorced within a year or two. And then I was like 12 or 13. But then I stayed with him.
Hmm.
So I ended up staying with him until I was
stepdad.
18. That's the ex-stepdad. Yeah.
Oh.
So they got married.
Okay.
So my mom left my dad. Then she got remarried instantly. Then they got divorced a year later. And then I stayed with him.
Wow.
Yeah. And
Well, that's
so,
unusual.
yeah, it is.
Yeah, you just unlocked a new fear. I'm like, I better keep Brent away from my babies.
Well, that's so funny, yeah, because when Tammy and I were getting a divorce, I had not yet adopted. She had a 2-year-old when I met her, so now Aaron was 7 or 8 or 9. I don't know when we were talking about getting a divorce, and I remember her saying to me, "Well, you don't have to worry about child support and I looked at her and I go, "You really don't know me. This is my son.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I've just spent 7 years with this child from 2 to 9.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is my boy.
You're bonded.
Yeah, well, that's it.
Yeah.
You know, and the thought that anybody else would raise him is what would break my heart. You know, what was it? Did your mom? I mean, that's so curious to me.
Yeah.
What is your relationship? Is she still with us?
My mom?
Yeah.
No.
Remember, she died for the wedding.
Oh, that's right. That's
Yeah.
when she heard you were getting married.
Yeah.
And she was like, I'm
Can't
not.
take
Were
it.
you close?
So
after that?
there's 2 versions of my mom in my head. There's up until the divorce, and then there's post-divorce.
Yeah.
Up until the divorce, most amazing involved mom, PTA, super there, making me sandwiches type deal, just like greatest thing in the world. Post-divorce, starts drinking and smoking, becomes severe alcoholic, completely trashes her life, and to the point where she's like living in some garage from some Craigslist guy, and then she just passes away from cancer. She got cancer, and within like 5 weeks of us finding out she had cancer, she passed away.
Wow.
Oh.
Yeah,
So sad.
yeah,
Yeah, my brother lived a life like that. And then the last 5 years he was sober.
Yeah.
Which was great. You know, we were able to function. And then he passed away from cirrhosis
Mhm.
of all the years of drinking.
Yeah.
And it's a tragic life.
It
to-
erodes
to-
who the person is.
To watch from afar. Were you able to communicate with her through her life, or did she just disappear? Because my brother would just disappear for a year, you know?
yeah. She so it got really bad once I was out of the house, like once I was at 18. That's when it was like progressively going worse and
Right.
worse for her. So there was a couple point in time where like I didn't talk to her for like 2 years or 3 years, and then my wife actually encouraged me to talk with her, and I did, which was a good thing because we got like a couple months of like relationships, like lunches and stuff, and she got to know Michelle and everything before she got cancer and passed.
Oh, that's
Yeah, and she also got to find out that she was going to be a grandmom.
yeah.
Oh.
So Michelle was 3 months pregnant with our first child when she passed. So she was very excited about that. I was the only sibling that had made her a grandma.
Oh,
So I was the
wow.
only child that was the first grandchild.
And your I hate this term, but biological father?
Yeah.
Was he
He's an amazing man.
part of your life?
Very involved in my life
Oh,
the entire
okay.
time. Him and his new wife, they've been together for 25 years. I call her mom now, Tracy. But she's an amazing human being, the best potential, second mom you could ask for. And they're very supportive of me the entire time. Geographically, they lived like an hour or 2 from where all my social connections were. So I just always found a place to stay out of that. But always, and they were even okay with me living with the ex stepdad and everything.
Yeah.
They offered I could live with them, and they have always been great, and they're very involved with they love the grandkids and all that.
That's great, man. And now, when your father was an engineer,
Yeah.
so anyway, when he heard you were going to MIT,
Yeah, so the MIT thing, we took that out of my bio eventually. People really didn't like the fact, I got like flamed online because people didn't like the fact that like I went and took courses at MIT, but I didn't graduate MIT. So you might have had like an older version of the bio, but I used to get like people write me hate mail.
well, I got news for people. I can't go take courses at MIT. No, I got the money. Let me in. No, they don't just do that. I mean, you kind of earn your way in, right?
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's not a correspondence thing.
Well, you can just buy it. I mean, college classes, they're companies, they sell a product. You can just pay $15,000 and go take classes.
From MIT?
Oh yeah.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know.
All right, Jeff's new adventure.
All
They're
right, I
usually
got that,
like
yeah.
advanced.
But $15,000, that's a lot of money.
It's usually like advanced post classes and stuff, but there's a whole, and then there's also now Yale, MIT, Harvard all have free classes online. You can go take all their classes online for free and get a degree, some type of certificate.
Well, to me, that's the Hillsdale thing. I mean,
I know.
I remember when Hillsdale started offering free classes. Again, I signed up and made an hour.
Yeah.
I did it with Liberty University. I decided I wanted to get educated at 50.
Yeah.
Took 2 apologetic classes, and after a week and a half, I went, all this reading. I dropped, and they called me for about a year and a half, trying to get me back in. I go, you don't want me. I'm a moron.
Yeah. I didn't find it that valuable. That's why I didn't continue. Because what I wanted
now we got some dirt on
no,
it.
because like what I wanted to do, it's like the wrong tool for the job, right? Like what I was trying to do with my life, it was a cool credibility, it's a cool status thing, but it didn't matter. Like clients wouldn't buy more or less of my product because of that. Like it was a nice little feel good thing to have.
Really doesn't carry the weight it did.
It just doesn't. Experience. Why do we value this college stuff? Like I value experience. You give me an engineer who has experience and knows how to solve this problem. I don't care what they did between the ages of 19 and 23. Like you and I know we are not making our best decisions. It is
not at all.
After you get old enough, you realize, oh, that's just like advanced high school. Like we put so much clout even on people like in their 50s and 60s in the job market that have like MITs and Yales. We give them so much. It's like it was a 4-year period when they were partying after high school.
Yeah. I think it's a little buffer just so they don't get hooked on heroin or pregnant before 25.
Well, it proves that you can show up and I said to my son, because every job my son got after getting out of the military was because he was in the military. And prospective employers looked at him and said, obviously he can show up on time.
Yep.
He can take orders, and he's not insubordinate.
Yep.
Which is, I look at online, these people screaming at their fellow classmates, and I go, prospective employer is going to look at that and think, yeah, she'll fit right in the lunchroom. This would be great to put her into our place. So it's funny you say that. I went to college to be for radio and television. And the first day of class, the professor said, just telling you, whatever you learn here, you'll lose to somebody who has experience. So get an internship somewhere, learn on the job. So when you go for a job and they ask, you go, I didn't just get it out of a textbook, or I didn't just get it in a classroom. I actually have real world experience. So it's probably that way with everything. My son, he didn't want to unload all his knowledge on these college professors for free, so he didn't go to college. And Dell hired him right out of high school. And they said, we will train you. So they immediately got him certified in, a couple of different things. He's a smart kid. Anyway, he lost his way for a while, and then he got back in this. And he designed some software this company's using company-wise. So they moved him into another. So he's worked his way up in this particular company, again, on the job, learning and giving them valuable tools.
Yeah.
That's why he made himself valuable to the company.
That's what I find most rewarding. It's being valuable to other people.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm sure people are asking themselves that are listening, they're like, why does Carolyn know Mr. like McKinney Smart Pants over here?
McKinney Smart.
McKinney Smart Pants. Old McKinney Smart Pants down at the pub again.
Share that
dang it.
with my wife, please.
Oh my gosh. I was watching the Civil War documentary last night and they were like the 40th Wisconsin. And I was like, oh, there's a lot of Confederates over here, don't you know? Dang it. Dag nabbit. Ah,
Did you
my
just
rifle's
call me a
jamming.
nerd and then tell a story about watching a Civil War
Right,
documentary?
exactly.
I have nerdy parts. I have nerdy parts. It's true. Anyone that's neurodivergent does. Okay, but really, you and I know each other because of stand-up, which is
Yes.
the only currency I have to the world. So how did you get an interest in stand-up? Your take on stand-up blows my mind. I think it's going to blow Jeff's mind. So, and go.
And go. So after I had some business success, I started to get pretty depressed. With the podcast, after I got to interview like everybody I wanted to interview, like it peaked at like creator of the internet. I was like, I don't think I can get bigger than that, And it turns out like just after that, I was having one of the Ramsey personalities on my show, Ken Coleman. You know Coleman?
I know the name.
Yeah, Ken Coleman's one of the Ramsey personalities. And I had him on my show and I said, hey, look, I know we have this scheduled talk or whatever, but you're really smart on this stuff and I'm having this issue. So can you just counsel me live, like as our episode? He's like, cool, let's do it. And we talked about like goal setting and like achieving goals and then having other goals after that. And so that kind of helped me understand like, okay, I'd achieved this goal, but I had nothing after that. And then my default was just to get depressed. And so I was like, what's my next goal going to be? Like, I know what it takes to do something for 10 years and have success at it. It's incredibly hard. You want to give up the whole time. It's painful, but then you figure it out. So it's like, I know I've got maybe 2 or 3 10-year chunks in my professional life left. Like, what do I want to do with those chunks?
Wow. I'm working on 10-minute chunks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to like figure this out. And there's this exercise that comes up where you contact people that you spent time with in childhood and you ask them why they hung out with you. Because at that point you don't have bills. You just are choosing freely to spend your time with these other kids, right? In middle and high school. And so I did, and I contacted several of them. I was like, why? Got back the same thing from all of them, because you were funny. I was like, okay, so people would spend time with me. The thing I was useful to them was being funny. I was like, and my wife at the time, she's been bothering me since the day that she's met me to do comedy. And I started to do a little.
Really? Your wife has been pushing you into stand-up
She is the
comedy?
biggest comedian influence in my life. Yeah.
Man, lucky you.
She gets upset at me that I'm not doing it, actually. So that's why I started doing it. So I started right when we had our first kid. I had been going out. I got like 2 of my first booked gigs. They were just small like host spots. Did those, found out she was pregnant. I had my software company at the time. I said, oh crap. I freaked out. I said, software is guaranteed money. I got a mouth to feed. I've never had to feed a mouth before like this.
Right.
I went software route. Fast forward, now work is like I get to choose what I want to do for work. And she's like, you need to take the path that you didn't take. And I said, okay, but like to do that, like our lives are going to be different because I work from home. I'm always around, like all of this stuff. And so we talked about it and we spent about 6 months going back and forth on it and really making sure that like if we make this decision, this is what we're going to stick with, because we're going to stick into this thing for 10 years. It's a big one. And so we decided on comedy. And then it's been, it was December 26th was my first show. It's been
Day after Christmas.
Yeah. It's
Wow.
been about 9 months and about 70 shows.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
So you're only 9 months in.
9 months, 70 shows in. Yeah.
Wow. That's a lot of shows.
Mhm. Yeah.
That's pretty impressive. I used to do this mentoring at my house once a month with some young comics. And the big topic was getting stage time. around Nashville. I mean, Carolyn knows more about it than I do.
I get like no stage time in Nashville.
Yeah, that's what that was my impression.
Yeah,
They had one club where they spun a wheel and it was like 1 minute to 5 minutes, so you could wait a week to get 60 seconds.
Yeah. How do you develop a set like
I
that?
couldn't. I got so lucky when I started. I was so bad for so long, but I was doing 20 shows a week.
Yeah.
I can't imagine it 1 minute a week. I would have been bad for 30 years.
Yeah.
At that rate. I mean, I can't fathom it, because that's the one question I get all the time from parents. My son wants to get into stand-up. 2 things I tell him. I go, read everything you get your grubby little fingers on, from People magazine to Aristotle, because that's where your references will come from. That's what you'll draw on to say the same thing that other people have said for 30 years. There's nothing new.
Right.
So you got to figure a different way to say it, find your voice. But the second thing is you got to get in front of people. You can make a Grammy-winning album in a studio. You cannot create a Grammy-winning comedy album in a studio. You got to go out in front of people and get it live. But 70 shows in 9 months, that's impressive.
So you just touched on the biggest point. I've been able to be successful privately, like in my office, in my home office, building multiple businesses, selling them, hiring employees, all of this stuff. Very isolating. I'm alone a lot. Yeah, I've got the kids now, but like it's just all my work hours are so alone. And so the big move to comedy was it forces me that you can only get good in front of people, and you have to be social, and you have to be out there in the world, and it forces me out. Otherwise, what am I just gonna spend the rest of my life like in that up in my studio?
Right.
And so, because the podcast doesn't force me to leave. Most of my interviews are remote, and that pays the bills, you know? So this forces me to go out, and it's exciting, and I love it, to be honest with you. Like it is great. I mean, I still love it after 70 shows. It's, of course, there's all different types of suck. Like things
I love
suck.
it after 70 years.
Yeah.
You know, it is. The process is what it keeps me going.
Yeah.
But what's wild is because you're financially secure, his commitment is so deep that he flies all over the country to open for anyone that'll let him.
Oh yeah, if somebody will give me like 7 minutes in like Indiana or New York, I just fly there.
Yeah, unpaid. He just flies there because he's that hungry.
I have to take you out.
Yeah, that's how.
Since I know I don't have to pay you a lot.
Yeah,
I don't feel bad.
That's been my pitch to people. I'm like, look, I need stage time.
Right.
I'm not bad. I don't suck. I get my 3 to 4 laughs per minute.
You know, I thought my dream was to do, these theaters. And I thought I have all these people in my dressing room, and we'd have baskets of stuff, and, and I get in there and it's just me, and I look around. And,
To be fair, some of the men might have left when you started doing, we could have these baskets. It's great.
Well, maybe
my writer.
The real men, but not my men. The low T guys. Anyway, I thought it would be fun. But yeah, I would love to, I'd love to offer people this opportunity, but there's very few people
that can.
I didn't know that about you. She had said that you were into stand-up. I didn't realize you were into it. It wasn't
so
something like a hobby and
locked in.
Oh
Just
no,
like
yeah. I don't do
Fulwiler.
things like. Yeah, I don't. My personality is like I'm either doing it or I'm not.
Oh man, that's great.
Yeah, I know. I love it, and I'm so excited to watch his future just grow and the hour
it's
get
interesting
developed.
too, because you talk about the isolation of and Tammy and I've talked about this, my wife and I, that not every couple can live this life because you're gone a lot.
Yeah.
So they have to be okay with living without you. And believe me, Tammy's very happy.
Well, that's why we
me.
moved. So we had a farm in Clarksville. We were 20, 30 minutes from a grocery store. And when I started doing the comedy stuff in December, and she says, look, it's okay that you're gone, but like I need community.
Right.
And so we found like a cookie cutter neighborhood in Thompson Station area. It's the best neighborhood we've ever lived in. The people are amazing. And so now when I'm gone, she's doing her walks every night. She's talking to all the neighbors. She's plugged in to her community, and she's like, this is sustainable. And I was like, okay, cool. So we moved our entire family for this, so that we could be in community for the stand-up.
Yeah. There's a great restaurant in Thompson Station.
Yeah.
What's the name of it?
I don't know.
Come on, you know it. It's right by a railroad track. It's
1819 Coffee. That's a
No.
popular one by Railroad Track.
Coffee.
I don't
Well,
know.
1819 was a restaurant, and then during
Was it?
COVID, they flipped it to a coffee shop. So it might actually
No,
be.
it's not that. It's I know what it is because we've eaten there twice. Again,
Well, tell me if you get it. Text me, be like, "This is it," because my wife's birthday is tomorrow, so I got to find some place to take her.
oh, you'll like it.
Yeah.
It's a little noisy, but it's noisy because there's a lot of people having fun there.
Yeah.
But the food was great.
We've talked about 1819, I think, on this podcast before, but me being the history nerd, can I tell you some nerdy stuff about 1819
Yes.
coffee? Okay, so if you go to the upstairs, underneath the carpet, there's still blood stains from when it was an impromptu hospital during the Civil War,
Oh, wow.
because they can't get it out of the hardwood. And they wanted to build a full-fledged walking path around it, but when they started digging the walking path from the Battle of Thompson Station, they kept finding bodies. Civil War bodies. So they were like, okay, well, we're going to pause on that and probably not dig out a walking path.
Holy cow, this is an AMC show.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
All
I'm
these
sorry.
bodies come to life.
Yeah,
They make clones out of the DNA. They just relive the whole Civil War.
yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Sponsored by 1819
Yeah,
Coffee.
1819 coffee.
It's
For
why we won.
all of the super brilliant people that we know listen to our podcast, where can they find you?
Yeah, so the podcast is called Modern CTO. You can type that into any of the search engines and it'll come up.
For the other 99% of people that listen to our podcast,
Yeah.
can they find your stand-up?
joelcomedy.com, JOEL comedy.com.
Very nice.
Oh my gosh.
And come out to Georgia. Well, you won't get this until after.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would love that. That would be nice, man.
Yeah. Oh, well, thank you so much for being here.
Yeah, thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
God bless you guys. Follow Joel, all of his fancy big brain stuff, and you could ask him the bigger brain questions that I don't understand. Like and subscribe. And if you horrendously disagree with getting a Neuralink in your brain because it's the mark of the beast, and that's going to be the end times right now, God, take me home, rapture me, Jesus. Please tell us in the comments. God bless you guys. Have a great day.
Who gave me a podcast?